According to the International Dyslexia Association, dyslexia is defined as a language-based learning disability that has several different symptoms that result in difficulties with language skills, primarily reading. Students with dyslexia usually struggle with language skills such as spelling and writing. It is considered a learning disability because students with dyslexia often struggle to succeed in a typical classroom. Depending on individual needs, a student may qualify for special education, accommodations, or extra support to help them have a fair shot at success. The causes of dyslexia have not been fully identified, but anatomical and brain imagery studies show differences in the way the brain develops and functions when a person has dyslexia.
Okay, Catherine, what are the two ways to spell shun?
T-I-O-N and S-I-O-N.
Good. Which one only says jeune?
S-I-O-N.
S-I-O-N. So every time you hear jeune and you're going to spell a word, how will you spell it?
S-I-O-N.
Good. But now, so that leaves us with shun, and we have some different spelling rules to help us with shun. Every time you hear shun after a long vowel, like vacation, you hear shun right after a long vowel. How are you going to spell that shun?
S-I-O-N.
No, every time right after a long vowel, vacation, how is
T-I-O-N.
T-I-O-N. Perfect. You'd spell with T-I-O-N.
Most people with dyslexia have difficulty identifying the separate speech sounds within a word and learning how letters correspond with their sound. Dyslexia is not caused by lack of intelligence or interest in learning. With the proper environment and methods, students with dyslexia can be successful. Having dyslexia is nothing to be ashamed of, and just because someone may struggle with reading does not mean that they have dyslexia. It can be a result of many things besides dyslexia. The student may be economically disadvantaged, new at the English language, or have specific learning disabilities. About 13 to 14% of the nationwide school population has a condition that qualifies them for special education. Current studies say that about half of that 14% have learning disabilities. About 85% of those students have a primary learning disability in reading and language processing. Almost a quarter of the entire population has symptoms of dyslexia, such as slower and accurate reading, poor spelling or writing, and mixing up similar words. Not all of these will qualify for special education, but these students may still need effective instruction and assistance with reading, writing, and language as described in the International Dyslexia Association's Knowledge and Practice Standards. Dyslexia occurs in people of all backgrounds and intellectual levels. People with dyslexia can be very bright and are capable, often gifted, in areas like art, drama, design, computer science, math, mechanics, music, physics, sales, and sports. Dyslexia runs in families. Parents with dyslexia are 50% more likely to have children with dyslexia. It is best to look for the signs at an early age, like kindergarten, before the child begins to fall behind. Some people with dyslexia have learned to read and spell early with great instruction, but later they struggled when more complex language skills are required, such as grammar, understanding textbook material, and writing essays. Many students with dyslexia are very bright, but it can sometimes be difficult to recognize dyslexia until a child begins to fail. Left unchecked, dyslexia can cause major issues in school, at work, or even socially. That doesn't have to happen. You can identify dyslexia early and help your child be successful in school. Kids with dyslexia often struggle with spelling because they have difficulty remembering letter symbols for sounds and forming memories for words. Other difficulties may include learning letters and their sounds, organizing written and spoken language, memorizing number facts, reading quickly enough to comprehend, continuing with and comprehending longer reading assignments, and correctly doing math operations. All of these problems can be resolved with effective instruction. Effective instruction is tied to the student's needs based on diagnostic screening and evaluation. The instruction is delivered step by step that leads to the achievement of preset goals by targeting the student's strengths and improving his or her weaknesses. Effective instruction requires continuous monitoring of the student's progress to determine the best method and extent of the instruction. Instructional approaches and programs may differ in technique and materials, but those proven to be most effective include systematic instruction designed to help promote understanding, memory recall, and the use of spoken or written language. Effective instruction involves different elements that focus on processing skills, phonology and word analysis, spelling, word recognition, oral reading fluency, grammar and syntax, text comprehension, writing, and study skills. People with dyslexia can be helped at any age, but the teacher must be prepared for challenges. Dyslexia is a disorder, not a disability. Dyslexics are capable of doing anything and everything with the right support and academic foundation.